Hey guys, we are sitting on this little pebble creek
Oh, it's a fish.
bed in it's called Fernglade Reserve. It's just outside of Burnie. So we've just spent the day at Boat Harbour Beach and it was so beautiful, but super windy in Tassie at the moment, so we're kind of going inland. We've just done a Q&A on Instagram, so we thought we'd also address those questions in a bit more detail on our YouTube. So Joss has the questions written up and we'll just go through them as best we can.
But first, can you please subscribe? Subscribe, like this video. We're trying to hit that 1,000
We
subscribers.
really want to hit 1,000. It's
I
probably
think
one of
we're
our
like-
benchmarks for YouTube, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it'd be a good one to hit.
Milestone. Yeah.
So, if you could please subscribe and send it to someone, that'd be.
And like the videos.
Yeah, that'd be handy. A heap of questions back, and we thought we picked a few that we can address in a bit more detail and hopefully help people.
There was a lot that were around the same theme of budgets
true.
and lifestyle on the road and different things like that. So we've just kind of summarised them into bigger questions, I think.
The first one is, and we got a lot of questions on this, how do you make money on the road?
Yeah, this was our biggest one. Any questions, it was like, how do you finance your travels? And yeah, making money on the road and anything budget related was our main questions we got. So I'll let Joss answer this one since he's our marketing guru.
So I think our main income, like many influencers and content creators, is obviously through producing content for different brands and companies. And we reach out to certain companies, some companies reach out to us, and we try and keep it within the camping outdoor industry as much as we can, and stuff, brands and products and services that relate to us. So, and then we pretty much post them as ads on our page or on different platforms, whether that be on Facebook or TikTok. We also do stuff behind the scenes that never makes it onto our social media, and we just send those brands that content. So whether that's photos or videos or blog writing, we do a fair bit of that as well. And I think we like doing that stuff more just because we're not kind of doing as much advertising. Generally though, the advertising for on our Instagram and that is products that we do use and do.
Yeah.
We're not going to
recommend try and get people to buy something that we don't even like to use.
Yeah, we always, I think when I do pitch to certain brands, it's only because I would want that brand or I already use that brand or something, and I think that makes it a lot easier to sell. So that's how we make our money on the road. So another common one we got was, how do you find your free camps? I think a lot of people are already, there's no secret. I think Wiki Camps is the best thing, and probably really the only thing to find the legit free camps.
Yeah. Joss and I really don't like staying in places that aren't designated free camps. We just don't feel comfortable doing that. I don't think we're scared of we're going to get caught, but we just don't like doing it. It doesn't look good. And especially if people are following us, they all probably see that we're at a location or know where it is and then try and camp there themselves. Yeah. So we always stick to Wiki's designated free camps. We do stay in caravan parks maybe a couple times a month, purely because of the convenience of if it's in a bigger city, a town or a city, we like to obviously clean out the car, get reorganised, do a heap of laundry and stuff like that. We try and make the most of those facilities, but usually we try and steer clear of caravan parks. It just chews up the budget.
Yeah. But we just find free camps, just on Wiki. To be honest, it's pretty easy these days, especially where we are in Tassie now. It's super easy. Obviously in the other states, they're a little bit more harder to find and a little bit more busy. But like Megan said, we try to do the right thing. We understand how many travellers are out there these days. So
plus our car's not really discreet. It's a rooftop tent.
You can't stealth camp anywhere. The next one is, do you book much in advance? The short answer to that is no.
No. Joss and I usually don't even know what we're doing 2 days in advance. We usually make the plan that night.
We have a rough plan on where we need to be in maybe a month or a couple of weeks.
Or which direction we're heading.
Which route we'll take. But we never book. Even throughout the busiest holiday period through Tassie, we didn't book once.
No, not more than a couple nights in advance if we did book.
Yeah,
if we did in Coles Bay, but I booked that 2 days before we got there or something like that.
It does depend. So things like national parks where they're going to be really busy and they've only a limited number of sites, then you obviously have to book. We booked when we left Perth and we drove up towards Broome because it was peak season, so we booked a caravan
and we
park
knew we had to spend like a week there. I had a uni assignment due, so yeah, those type of occasions we do.
Yep, and then we had to book Kununurra, and then
which we probably didn't have to, but because we stayed for so long, we did, I suppose.
If you want a spot, true. You probably could have still winged it. What's been your biggest expense so far? I think it's a pretty easy one. Fuel's obviously a huge expense.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things where you need it. You need it. So.
Yeah, you need it. You can't really, if there's no options of shopping around, you just have to get it and forget about it.
We do keep the shopper dockets and we use Petrol Spy and try and find the cheapest thing.
When we can, yeah.
But again, that's only saving a few dollars. What's the best thing you've learned over the last 6 months? For me, I think it's to slow down.
Definitely.
And just to, I guess, initially when we left, we were like not rushing, but it was like quite a bit more fast paced because we were still in the mindset of when you usually go away and you're working 9 to 5, you've only got a weekend or a week or something. So for me, it was, spending time to just slow down, don't drive as fast, and just enjoy it.
Yeah, and with that, I think we've learnt not to book in advance.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of, like Joss was saying, our first destination was Karanjini and then Broome and then Kununurra. So like we booked those pretty much consecutively with knowing we'd do the Gibbon like travel days and stuff. Whereas if we hadn't booked, we would have gone out and did a bit more of the Pilbara. And that's probably the only thing I regret on this trip is that we didn't do more time in that area.
Yeah.
So slowing down is definitely something we've learnt just from getting our groove, I think, of full-time travel.
Yeah, we've also learnt how to liaise with brands better.
Definitely.
And create content.
And knowing our worth.
A lot better. Yeah, knowing our worth.
Like at the beginning, we were kind of just accepting like free things and not really knowing what to like charge people, if that makes sense.
So I think
we were happy to do a lot for free, which wasn't helping us.
Yeah, I think we've got into a good rhythm of that, and not booking and not just being a little bit more, having a bit more freedom. What are your highlights from WA?
From WA, the Kimberley, 100%.
Yeah, the Kimberley.
The Gib River Road.
Yeah, the Gib is mine.
Yeah, mine too.
It was pretty good. It was first as well, so we had like, I know we're still on a high of leaving home, being on the road, and then
it's just so dramatic up there, and I've never experienced anything like that, so that's why I loved it so much.
What would you change about your setup?
Oh, that's a hard one. I feel like just because of recently, we've come across like some wind, which we hadn't had in like months. And we'll be honest, like we love our drifter tent.
That wind.
Should I stop?
That wind.
So the one thing that I would change, just because of the wind lately we've hit on the west coast of Tassie. Honestly, when we put that tent up, we cannot avoid it. Like these gusts that we've been having is just rattles the tent and we can't sleep. We'll get a couple of hours each night if the wind dies for an amount of time. So I would really love to change that aspect of things. So I don't know if that would mean like shopping around for a different rooftop tent, or like in the future would we look at like getting a different vehicle where we could like get into the car and escape the wind.
Caravan.
Like a caravan, or a different type of
I agree.
Car or van where we could like sit in it and still like enjoy like a beautiful beach, but if it's blowing gale we can retreat from it.
Yeah, the tent's the same thing for me. It's been good. It's perfect with no wind.
For everything else, we love it.
It's perfect in the rain. It was fine in the snow. It was fine in
packing up, packing down. Yeah, it's so spacious.
It's comfy, but it's just, to be honest, it's just not taut enough.
Yeah, it's like camping in literally like a tent.
Yeah,
like
and it's a bit loose. And like we've done everything we can to try and tighten it, but it's just that. Yeah, if we had more like weight capacity, we could have bigger battery and I could have a coffee machine. I'd still like that. Who made your canopy setup? Oh, so it's just like a combination of all different things. So like MRT, which I'm sure most people have heard of, made like the shell, I guess. And then AM Off-Road did all our kitchen stuff. And I just kind of bought it in different bits.
And installed it all himself.
And then installed it all myself over a period of time. And with the help of a few friends. So like the fridge is just a Bushman's, AM Off-Road did the kitchen stuff, MRT drawer on one side, drifter rooftop tent, and then projector did all the 12 volt stuff, which I just got them to send me bits as I went. while we were still living in Perth, and put that all in.
Yeah, so Joss did all the wiring, everything himself, and then installed all the other equipment he bought from those brands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much the gist of it.
Yeah.
And they're all...
And it happened over time. We didn't get
yeah.
everything and then just chuck it all in. Like, he was working on it for like 3 months, maybe longer.
Yeah. And it wasn't... it's not top of the range stuff.
No.
But to be honest, it all works exactly how you'd expect.
And had no issues with anything.
No, not one thing. Your advice to someone wanting to do full-time travel?
Do it.
So I think there's two like parts to this question. We get questions relating to like, I guess, how or if people should do what we're doing, which is like traveling full time, making money as content creators. So I think people say like, oh, how do I contact brands, or how do I make money doing what you're doing? And then we'll jump across and look at their page, and they haven't got that many followers. So I think what we did at the start with this as a goal is to build up, do a heap of groundwork and build up our followers, to give ourselves a bit of credibility, and for the brands to look at us and be like, there's a benefit to us, and vice versa. So we did a fair bit of research, and we put a bit of time and effort into building up our followers, and just went out and created a heap of content authentically, and went camping and just documented it more than we usually would, or rather than on our own accounts. So that was a goal of ours, and that's kind of where we started. We knew no one would work with us if we only had 100 followers, so we thought we'd boost it up and put a fair bit of effort into trying to grow. So that would be if someone wants to do what we're doing, I think that's where you got to start. I know that's really hard to do these days. My other piece of advice would be to just kind of spread yourself across all the platforms, because with TikTok, it's really easy to grow
quickly.
Yeah, well, it's easier to grow. YouTube, harder, more time.
And maybe more skills needed.
There is
We're still
definitely more
figuring that
skills.
out.
So, but if you have got the skills and you want to do it, then it's probably well worth it in the long run. And then obviously just have Facebook. It's so easy, it's so quick. And I don't know, if depends on your audience, but if Twitter and LinkedIn is your thing, then that's also where you should be. The other side of things is people ask whether they should just do full-time travel, or how we took the leap to just leave our jobs and stuff. And I think that totally depends on your financial situation. If you've got a job or you work in an industry that's in demand, you can just go and get work anywhere, or you might have a heap of savings and this is what you want to do. And if that's what you're debating, then I say just do it. I think if you're at that time, you're in that place in your life where you can afford to do it and you've got little commitments elsewhere, just 100%.
Yeah, even if you don't have a lot of savings, like just have enough to get you to, a month worth of travel, and then you can just park up and work for a few weeks or a month and then just go again. Like, there's so much work around as well.
Yeah. Thanks for listening to our Q&A. Hopefully some of those answers helped people. So hopefully they, and it was a bit of an insight into what we do and our travels on the road.
And thanks to the people that actually wrote in.
Yeah.
Otherwise there'd be no Q&A.
Yeah, so that was good. We had heaps of responses. We could probably talk for 2 hours about answering all the questions we actually got. So like I said at the start, subscribe and get us to that 1,000, and like it, and even comment. If you comment with another question, we'll make another video and answer it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, cool.
And if we get no comments, we won't make a video.
Yeah, you'll never hear from us again.
Never. Yeah. Alright, see ya.
See ya.